everyone, it's Melissa from Endo Empowered, and I'm out today with little Wilson. We're going for a walk in a beautiful sunny day in Auckland, and I thought I would do a video about a question I received from a subscriber. She is a beautiful concerned mom for her daughter who has severe endometriosis, and they've been trying to follow the endo diet for a few months, and basically her words were, I'm being super strict with the diet and we're still not getting the results, and she's got huge cysts and doesn't know what to do. Her question to me was, should I have surgery to have the endometriosis removed so I can have a clean slate to work from? So I thought I'd share some insights with you on some of the points along this email. So firstly, I want to point out that diet is not the only way to approach endometriosis. I know it's hard because I used to believe this too. My whole focus was all about eating the purest diet and taking supplements. I believed that that was what a natural approach was. I thought that's all you did. The reality is that approaching endometriosis is actually about a holistic approach. It's about providing for the body. So even though we often take a condition and we approach it from a medical point of view, where we say, I have this condition, I want to take something to solve the problem, a holistic approach doesn't actually work that way. What we're doing holistically is we're providing an environment for the body to feel good, an environment of healing, and then the body does the work and has all the tools that it needs, and then it can heal. I describe it similar to a plant. So if you take a plant and you put it in the perfect environment where it's got sunlight, it's got water, it's got great soil, that plant will flourish and it'll do really well. But if you take that same plant and you put it next to a highway and it's not getting a lot of water and it's not getting a lot of sunlight, it's going to struggle and inevitably get some kind of disease. So it's kind of the same thing that we want to do when we approach endometriosis holistically. So that's the first point I want to make, is don't just look at the diet as you'll be in an endo or even supplements. Approach your body holistically. So implement my reach technique. To find out more about my reach technique, click on the link below. It gives you a holistic approach, which is what you need to do to really approach this from a naturopath perspective in approaching it holistically. The second thing around the surgery. So this is actually a tough one for me to answer. Surgery has risks, and surgery causes an inflammatory response within the body. No matter how fancy the surgery, whether that's excision surgery or whether that's ablation surgery, doesn't matter what sort of surgery you have. When you pierce that abdominal cavity, the body goes into an inflammatory response, and instantly you're going to have a reaction where more endometriosis lesions will develop. This is what the body does. It is going to heal itself. In saying that, depending on what's going on for you, so if you have a lot of pain, you've got a lot of adhesions, you're struggling to keep going, then sometimes surgery is the only way forward. However, I'm not a fan of using surgery as a treatment. I'm not a fan of using it as a clean out, because inevitably it just comes back and you're just having to go back for another surgery a year and a half later. This is what I did. I went for 7 surgeries, and every year and a half I would routinely go back for another surgery. It doesn't resolve anything. It doesn't get rid of the endometriosis. However, if you provide for your body and you give it the tools it needs, you can reduce that inflammation, you can reduce the hormone imbalance, you can reduce that autoimmune response, and your body will naturally feel better. I haven't had the need to go back for surgery. And a lot of the women who've followed my reach technique haven't needed to either. They have opted out of the surgery. Oftentimes a woman comes to me as a last resort. And what happens is a lot of these women have had negative experiences with surgeries. So they realize that it's not the key answer. What I want you to take away from this is give yourself a deadline and say, look, I'm going to give this holistic approach, and a full holistic approach, not just diet, a good period of time, whether that's 6 months or a year, depending on how your commitment levels are. But you want to give it at least 6 months, and you want to do it properly. You want to have a strategy behind it. Your focus needs to be on how you provide the perfect environment for your body. So how do you replenish your body? Give it all the tools it needs, every vitamin, every mineral, every single antioxidant you can find, anything you can find to really provide in terms of your fuel, which is your food, for your body. How can you exercise in a way that supports your body, that balances hormones, that loosens adhesions? How can you look at the emotional health? So how can you reduce stress in your life? How can you take away any negative feelings that you're holding on to from your past? And how can you cleanse out any toxins? How can you, looking at what exposures you might have had in your past, like to lead or mercury or, parasites or anything like that, and how can you get rid of those? And then ultimately, how can you provide a wonderful supportive environment for yourself? Because making these changes using a holistic approach is somewhat out there. Not a lot of women are doing it, which is kind of scary. And you're going to get people in your family, particularly of the older generation, they're going to say, why are you doing this? Why don't you go to a doctor? Why don't you go on the contraceptive pill when they told you to? Why don't you have another surgery? Because that is the belief system, that is a training. So you need to be around women who get it. You need to surround yourself with women who are also doing this holistically, and that's where my Facebook support group comes in. So if you're not yet a member, please sign up. It doesn't cost you anything to become a member. You'll get access to my Facebook support group. You'll get access to the Reach Kickstarter, which is a free program to introduce you to the Reach program. And there's a whole bunch of other resources within the membership space. Please know that you can manage endometriosis holistically. It just might take a little bit longer than normal. Your body needs to readjust. It needs to rebalance, and you need to provide for your body. Okay, so I wish you all the healing that I can, and I hope you have a wonderful day.